Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Midweek Minutes. This past Sunday, we continued our series which is entitled Skills, and it stands for Surrender, Knowing Intellectually, Live Like Scripture Says. And in episode 2, which was titled Knowing Intellectually, Part 1, our main passage was taken from John chapter 8, verses 31 to 34. Let me read it for you. Jesus said to the people who believed in him, "You are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." "But we are descendants of Abraham," they said. "We have never been slaves to anyone. What do you mean, you will be set free?" Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Now, knowing the truth in this context is not about information. It's about knowing a person, having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And not just hearing his word, but doing his word, being faithful, being a true disciple. Now, the believers in this context, the implication is that they had an outward profession of faith, but by their words and actions, maybe they really didn't believe. And we can profess things, and rather than allowing the truth to set us free, we allow erroneous things bind us and blind us to what is really happening. For example, they were basing their freedom on their heritage. They were taking pride in that they were descendants of Abraham. And so they were assimilating to a culture based on what they had traditionally learned and sought after as a lifestyle. Now, when the truth sets us free, we're able to be free indeed. We had a point on Sunday that says, knowing the truth frees us to be who God created us to be. Now, I'm here on our platform, and I was just bugged out by some loose wires on the platform. Not just me, some other people who shared it with me. And so I had to be who God created me to be. And God created me to be OCD. That is, an observant, creative developer. Yeah, I like to make things better. I like to develop things. You know, when we first moved into our house, I drove my wife crazy because I was always remodeling, trying to find a better way to have things situated that made it more practical or aesthetically more pleasing or just more functional. And so when we know the truth frees us to be who God created us to be. We don't have to base our worth, we don't have to base who we believe we are on tradition or what somebody else says we are, but we have the freedom to be who God created us to be. So I encourage you, don't just know intellectually what the word says, but develop that relationship with Jesus, which frees us to be who he created us to be. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Midweek Minutes. I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye for now.